Hello viewers, Super GT here. Gran Turismo action back on the channel once again. Happy to bring plenty of content for this game. Now we're going to head over to Brands Hatch in the United Kingdom for a couple of spectacular races in these Porsche 911s. So you can see here I'm in the middle of the pack qualifying wise, so 8th out of 16. Well, let the games begin, shall we? Going into the first corner. Graham Hill Bend, a notoriously difficult corner. Brands Hatch, the guy ahead, the Frenchman's got a poor exit. And we're going to head past him into Druids. So gaining one position early doors. Straight up into 7th. That's a good start. So down the hill then. Through the left of Graham Hill Bend. So you can see here lots of Porsches on offer. So most people opting to go for this car. Seems to be one of the quickest in Group 3. Massive portion of oversteer on the exit of Surtees, just keeping under control there. You can see here I'm going to cut to some nicer replay shots here throughout the races, throughout this video, to break it up a little bit. And then through Hawthorns, the Spaniard up ahead. So don't worry, if you got really drunk in my previous video, I did a drinking game. So perhaps I'll do another one in this video, but I think I must have killed about 100 of my subscribers with the amount of times I said Spaniard last time out. So just up ahead, the Frenchman losing out to the Spaniard, and just going to graze him on the exit there onto the main straight here. We can see there SR, the little warning in the middle of the screen. So that is a good indicator actually. It's good to know if you definitely did make contact or not. So if that SR comes up, then you did make contact. Up the hill then, it's going to be deja vu of lap 1. Up the inside into Druids, a good overtaking place, and we've done it 2 laps in a row, 2 positions, so 8th now into 6th place. So a 5-lap race on offer. Plenty of time now to try to get the position back, but the Frenchman there just going for a good exit out of Graham Hill Bend. One person going very wide there, and just up ahead someone's going to swerve across to the right hand side and lose many positions and a lot of time. So that was a good sequence. The first half of this lap has been very kind to me, from 7th up to 4th place now. So once again we're checking down another Spaniard, or the same Spaniard. You see there in the replay shot the Frenchman right on my tail now as we come through Dingledale up into Sheen Curve. Again, a difficult corner, but Brands Hatch is a fairly difficult track to get right. But we're okay so far. The mistakes are being made by other people. Just look at behind there, and you see just going a little bit too wide on the exit was the guy behind, and I'm going to go a little bit wide there, just about keep the car under control. I'm going to lose a couple of temps though to the guys up ahead. First place is a good couple of seconds ahead of second. The second place is definitely on here. We still have 3 laps left to try and do something. So up the hill then, looking for those 2 cones, there they are. And then going down a couple of gears, a little bit deep there actually. So again, going to lose time. We can see so far, this is the thing that I'm kind of thinking so far is, lots of people have been spinning, lots of people have been making mistakes. Another mistake has been made there by the Spaniard, just in 3rd place. So it's going to be one of those races I think, where it's going to be a matter of not who's necessarily the fastest, just who's not going to make the mistakes. And sometimes you don't have to be the quickest, you just have to be the most consistent. So far, going from 8th into 4th, that is a good return. So through the fast right of Hawthorns Bend, lovely corner when you get it right. The right of Westfield, a little bit more difficult, especially on the exit. And then probably the most difficult corner on the circuit, in my opinion, because you're kind of turning in and you can't really see the apex. And the Spaniard there proves my point as he goes way wide on the exit, up into 3rd place, now into a podium paying position as we come round towards the last corner of the 3rd lap. So 2 more left, 2 more tours of Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit remaining after this lap as we come across the line here. There we go, still in 3rd place as we can see there. So you see I now have a fairly equal gap behind and in front. So I'm not quite sure how this race is going to go at this exact moment here. Really depends, I suppose, on whether this Swede up ahead makes any mistakes, or if I make any mistakes, I suppose. Or I suppose as well if the Spaniard just puts in some amazing laps and manages to reel me in. So at the moment, Nip and Tucker could go either way. Second place is on. Third place at the moment, but let's not get too complacent. Fourth place it could be if I make a couple of mistakes. Then down the hill, back up the dip again, and then just about taking that okay. Quarter of a second down on my personal best at the moment. 24.3 best lap so far. A big moment from the Swede up ahead, I just saw that, but I don't think he's lost too much time. In fact, I'm falling into the grasp of the Spaniard at this moment. Through Sheen Curve, through there nicely. Fastest lap by the Dutchman in the lead, a 23.9, so a good 4 tenths quicker than I've managed so far. You can see him just going into the last corner there, so he is still a couple of seconds clear of the Swede. We don't see many Swedish players actually in this game, so it's good to see a nice mix. I see when I see gameplay of anyone from the Americas playing, it's normally just US and Brazil. There's not too many. I suppose you get some Canadians too, but it seems like in the Americas the majority of the gameplay is taken up by those two nations, whereas of course in Europe we have a lot more countries within our region, so plenty of nations on offer to race against here. So through Graham Hill Bend, this is the last lap now. You see there just hunting down the Swede, and the Spaniard just behind there, still in sight, looking to try and reel me in. Not quite happening at the moment though. Onto the back straight, and again he's just in sight. It's just not quite happening for me at this moment, but you never know. You just never know what might happen in any race. You just still push to the end. This guy could get a penalty. He could spin off. There he goes. He's actually gone very wide on the exit of Hawthorne's Bend. Hasn't cost him too much time. I am now a lot closer than I was, and you never know, he could get a penalty. It looks like he did take a big chunk out of that corner, and I've actually gained a massive amount here. I am, let's say, well under a second now behind him. So with a possibility of a penalty, you've got to get as close as you can. I got kind of distracted through this last corner, missed the apex by quite a long way. You can see there's a back marker just up ahead. And as we come up across the line then, this is going to be the end of the race. There it is. Is it going to be a third place? Yes, it is. It's going to be a third. The guy ahead didn't quite have a penalty, but still, it was a really good race to come back from the outer reaches of the top 10 to get a podium. Not bad, and you can see there are plenty of Porsches in the top 10. In fact, the top 7 or 8 there, all in a Porsche. So it's clearly the car to use in Group 3. Now, the game kind of went on a weird one here. It did a Forza, if you like. So you can see I qualified 10th for this race with a 24.3. It was actually really close in qualifying. A lot of the times are fairly balanced. Now we go to do the warm-up, and the car just doesn't really want to turn. Everyone just crashes into the wall, including this Beetle here, another Porsche. So I'm not sure what the hell happened there. The car kind of just didn't control itself, and then eventually we did get going once again properly. And on the exit, the Frenchman just drives straight into the barrier, as you do, and then coming up the hill, this Swiss guy just kills himself, and then the game just spazzes out completely, and that was the end of that. So I was looking forward to that, because the times were really close in qualifying, which kind of signified a good race, or could have been a good race. But oh well, we go again. This time in in 6th place on the grid. We have a Lexus up behind. And we do have a Mustang actually in the mix as well, up in 4th place. So a fair mix of cars here, or a bit bigger mix of cars. And Deja Vu again, into Druids on the first lap. Once again taking a position, so plenty of people making mistakes very early in the race. You've got to capitalise on those. And I suppose when everyone's so close at the start, it is the best opportunity really to make up a couple of positions if people are going to make mistakes. So the Mustang up ahead takes a poor exit through Surtees. He's going to look for the space on the right hand side, just closes me off. I go to the left. Am I going to be able to get a run here? Not quite, so I'm just going to back out, let him take the normal racing line. So this is kind of one of these lessons really in racing. Sometimes I could have fought that, I could have stayed alongside him going into the fast right of Hawthorne's Bend, but I mean it probably would not have ended well, and there's a good chance even that I could have lost a position out of it. So instead just conceding that I can't get 4th and stay in 5th, whereas I could have gone down to 6th if I'd really thought of that around the outside and perhaps got pushed wide on the exit. You never know. So playing it safe for now. Into the final corner, clearways, like, just kind of rising up in the apex there and then just dipping back down again. Big moment on the exit, just keep it under control. Coming across the line then to start lap number 2, breaking on our mark, but just going on really, just did not really go into that apex at all. Really weird because I was taking it fine in the previous race. The Portuguese guy here, Alpha, takes it fairly badly as well. So at least I wasn't alone in that. So down to 9th momentarily, but then back up into 8th as Alpha goes very wide. You see the group just up ahead, a couple of seconds lost in all of that, a couple of positions as well. So not a good start there. And to be honest, it was a really weird mistake because I was taking it fine for the previous race and then just going to completely mess it up. Now this is quite an important part of the race here because so I've got Alpha right myself. We could start fighting, we could start battling for this position. You know what, I'm kind of just going to forget that he's there and just really try to reel in these guys. So you see just how close he is. He's right on my tail. You kind of just got to forget that he's there. Just push on and really try to catch up with this group once again. Because if we start fighting, we're just going to lose time. And that is, I mean, you're just basically saying, you know, I just want to finish in 8th. That's the best I can hope for, which it really isn't. We can still definitely get back into this fight and then gain a couple of positions. Let's see if we can do that. Through Stirling's Bend onto the back straight into clearways, we saw just a hint there of the Frenchman up ahead having a big moment, and we have definitely gained already onto the back of him. So within sight, we still have 3rd place within sight here. 1st and 2nd are pulling away massively. I almost make the same mistake again. That is something you should never do in racing. You should learn from your mistakes and not do it twice. Luckily I just about didn't. The Portugueseman up the inside, not quite enough. He did come from quite far back and I just about keep the line around the outside. Someone's spinning off there onto the never-ending grass up the hill. So that's back up into 7th position. So 1 position gained. So slowly but surely getting myself back into this fight. And it's going to be a good one, I think. Because you can see there, just a train of maybe 5 or 6 of us. Yeah, 5 or 6 of us. Going up the hill now into Hawthorns. So it looks like we're fairly matched on pace. This little group here, 1st and 2nd, clearly with a bit of an advantage. They're definitely a bit quicker. You see the fastest lap there by the Belgian, 23.2, and it looked like I hit him, but I don't think I did. The SR little warning did not appear, so I don't think I'd make contact. I did make contact there. Luckily, he just about kept control of this car very well. He did that very well actually. And on the exit, coming towards the final corner, Alpha in the Lexus there, very close behind, and you see a group of 5 developing very close, and he's just wide the Greekman in the Mercedes, and you see just how close he is now, right behind me on my tail. I'm going to go slightly defensive into turn 1, still clip the apex nicely, and then look for the move. It's not quite going to happen though. The Frenchman looking for the move as well. I'm going to have to go around the outside, and once again the Portuguese looking up the inside, but I'm just going to maintain my line on the outside. You can see just how close I am to the tail. This guy up ahead. The guy in the Mustang must be looking behind with a smile on his face right now because he can see that we're battling. We're all losing time to each other, and that's just giving him, you know, that space to breathe. Basically, he can just relax a little bit knowing that we're not right on his tail. I'm not sure how quick or slow that Mustang is. Obviously he's doing a very good job because he is still in 3rd place and just slightly pulling away from this group at the moment, but the 2 Frenchmen up ahead are definitely fighting with each other. That's going to start losing each other time, and he just makes a big mistake on the exit of Westfield. They're just squirming all over the place, and I almost make a massive error as well. I'm going to have to go slightly defensive there. Think about just about blocking my position. Alpha doesn't quite go for it. You can see here as we go to the outer shot, there's a group of 4 of us. On the exit here, he's just going to get all sideways, and I've run over a cone as well. That almost messes me up. I'm going to go defensive. I get SR warning. I think I just clipped that Frenchman as he spun out, and I'm up into 4th place. This is the final lap, so it's all drama here. I'm going to go slightly defensive. We've seen that he's been going for a move up my inside here a couple of times, so I'm not going to let him do that again. On the exit of Druids, down the hill then, 2 behind me. I have to hold them off for another lap. Alpha has been right on my tail for this whole lap. It's been a good race. I think I've driven fairly defensively against him. And he hasn't really gone for the moves. Well, he has in Druids, but he hasn't been able to make it stick at this moment. We are hunting down the Spaniard in the Mustang. He's doing a good job so far. We ought to really be beating him, because I think without that mistake on lap 1, I think I could possibly be past him by now. I think he was just ahead of me though when I did make that mistake. But we'll see if this one will change. Once again, similar situation to the last race. If I can get within that second, you just never know if this guy has a penalty. You just never know. Through Sheen Curve, and Alpha's going to get a massive slide on, massive moment. He slid out. So after a very good performance from him, he drove fairly well up to that point, and then just a big mistake. He's lost a couple of positions, I think. And I'm going to come through in 4th place. Let's see if we can improve on that though. If anyone has a penalty up ahead. The Mustang crosses, and then I crossed the line just after. It was a great race, a brilliant race that. From start to finish, action throughout. And we can see there, it was a 4th place in the end. So well done to that Spaniard in the Mustang, driving something different. And then the RCF guy, the Portuguese, the Alpha, just spinning on the last lap. It was a great race though, really great to be part of that. So a big mistake. It's a great comeback to get back to 4th place. Nearly 3rd. My only regret really was that the race didn't go on for any longer. I think that could have still gone on for a couple of laps and still been a really good race. But there we go guys. I do hope you enjoyed as always. Plenty more GT Sport content will be coming out very soon of course. I'm absolutely loving this game. At the moment I'm loving it more than Forza, if I'm honest. It is that good. And yeah, I definitely recommend, if you haven't got a PlayStation 4, then I think it's worth it. You know, I bought a PlayStation 4 just for this game and I'm really enjoying it. But there we go guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Do smash the like button if you did, and subscribe for more. I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Listen.